everyone! Today for our leveled read aloud, we are going to be reading Fascinating Families. And this is actually can you guess it? There's a photograph on the front. We know it's about real things. It is a nonfiction text. I thought I would switch it up for today. So let's go ahead and start reading about fascinating families. Human families. What is this called at the top of a nonfiction text? It's a heading. I hope you got it right. We humans live in families because we like to be with others like us. Our families often live together and raise children. We share love and food. We often work together too. For some of these reasons, many animals also live in family groups. Wolf families. Wolves live in family groups that are much like ours. A wolf family is called a pack. One male and one female lead the pack. A wolf pack usually has about 6 to 10 family members. Wolves are loyal to their pack. A wolf pack travels together and works together to hunt for food. Wolf babies, called cubs, are cared for by all members of the pack. The cubs' aunts and uncles help feed them, play with them, and teach them how to survive. Some of these pack members regularly act as babysitters for the cubs while the rest of the pack is off hunting. Penguin families. Almost all mother and father penguins work together to care for their young until the babies are old enough to live on their own. But these families of flightless birds do some things that are quite different from what most animal families do. Emperor penguins spend most of their lives in the icy cold waters of the Antarctic Ocean. They live in large groups called rookeries. These rookeries are like a huge neighborhood. Some rookeries have as many as 1 million penguins. Can you imagine if 1 million people lived in your neighborhood? That'd be crazy. Emperor penguins are the largest penguins in the world. The father emperors are very different from most fathers. After the mother lays an egg on the ice, she returns to the ocean. Then the father rolls the egg on top of his feet and carefully waddles over to a group of other penguin fathers. They huddle together for 2 months taking care of the eggs. The eggs stay nice and warm under the father's feathers and layers of fat. When the eggs hatch, the father penguin makes a milky liquid to feed their newborns. Look at the little baby penguin. The mother penguins return shortly after the chicks have hatched. Then the fathers head out to the sea for a few weeks to feed. When the fathers come back, groups of penguin families form large, tight circles with the chicks in the middle. These penguin nurseries, called creches, protect the chicks from trouble and keep them warm. Elephant families. Elephants are the largest animals that live on land. Like a lot of other animals, elephants also have strong families. Elephants live in large groups called herds. These herds do not stay in one place, but roam great distances looking for food and water. There are many elephant families within a herd, and many of these families are related to each other. Most herds are led by an older female called the matriarch. Think about how long it takes a human baby to learn to walk. A baby elephant, called a calf, can walk within hours after its birth. Still, elephants care for their calves for many years, just like people care for their children. Elephants' calves feed on their mother's milk for 2 to 6 years. When a herd is threatened by a tiger or leopard, the adults often stand in a tight circle around the calves to keep them safe. Swan families. People have always been attracted to swans because of their beauty. But do you know that swans also form one of nature's strongest families? When they are 2 to 3 years old, swans choose mates. The swans usually stay together for the rest of their lives. Mother and father swans also share the work of raising a family. The father swan, or cob, helps the mother build its nest. When the mother swan sits on her eggs, the cob brings her food and protects her. The cob continues to bring food and protect his family after the baby swans, called cygnets, hatch. Sometimes the cygnets ride on their parents' backs. Cygnets remain with their parents until it is time for them to choose a mate of their own. Then they go off to form their own families. As you can see, there are many different kinds of animal families. Some are big and some are small. Some are very similar to others and some are very different. That's what makes learning about them so fascinating. Alright guys, I'm going to put these response questions in the description box so you can answer them and make sure that you are comprehending what we just read in this fabulous nonfiction book. And I'll see you guys in the next Read Aloud. Bye everyone.